Alright there guys, and welcome back to another video. And welcome to the very first video of 2024 here on the second channel. It's been about 6 months or so since I last posted here on this channel. The last time we had a gap this long between videos on the second channel was back in 2019, nearly 5 years ago. But yes, to start off 2024 on the second channel, yes, alright, it's the last day of January, but it's still January. Today's topic of discussion is going to be motivation. So, let us get into it. Motivation is something that is, depending on what it's for, it can be very easy to be motivated about something, or very difficult depending on what it could be. For example, trying to motivate yourself to study for exams when you're at school, very difficult thing to do. Obviously, due to the fact that nobody wants to do it, let's be honest. I don't care how much you enjoy school, you do not want to be doing exams. You don't enjoy it. Don't stop pretending that you do. Because you're lying to yourself and everyone else. But there are things that you can motivate that are easier to motivate yourself for if, say, you enjoy the damn thing. Like, I lose motivation sometimes for videos on the main channel. Whenever, it doesn't happen so much as often now, but I'd say, I don't know, like, maybe not last year, but the year before, maybe like 2022 and further back, if I posted a video and then go onto YouTube Studio and it says 10 out of 10, I mean, that sounds good, but anyone who uses YouTube Studio knows 10 out of 10 is actually terrible. 1 out of 10 is actually what you want to be getting. Because the 1 to 10 ratio is simply how well your video is performing views-wise to the last 9 videos you posted along with this one. And if I post a video and it doesn't do well views-wise, I do lose a tad bit of motivation to keep making videos. But as you guys have seen, it hasn't stopped me making them because I still do. Like the Dragon Ball The Breakers video I posted right at the start of the year, the very first video I posted of 2024 on my main channel. That video doesn't even have 10 views. So that's a bit of a shame. I see a video and it performs terribly, and it's like, that's very annoying considering the last 2 videos I posted before that actually performed fairly well. But then the very next video I posted after the Dragon Ball The Breakers video was the Attack on Titan one, and that nearly has 100 views. So the motivation levels to want to keep making videos used to fluctuate quite a lot between how well a video performed and how well it doesn't. And I don't feel like that anymore. It's just whenever a video doesn't perform well at all, I'm like, That's a bit annoying, but oh well. Hopefully the next video I post will perform better than this one. And that normally ends up being the case. The very next video I post after the one that doesn't perform well then does performs better. And then the next thing I want to talk about in regards to motivation is the motivation to keep pressing on when it comes to looking for a job, no matter how many times you either A, get rejected, or B, the much more common thing, just no one responds to you at all. That's the much more common one for me, at least. I've been looking for a job for quite a long time now, and still have not managed to get one. I mean, part of that is being everybody wants experience, but nobody wants to actually give the experience out to anyone. It's like, yeah, well done. Oh, we'd prefer someone with experience. Okay, and how do you suggest one gets said experience if you're not willing to give it out? Everybody wants experience, but nobody is willing to give anyone any experience who don't previously already have some. I mean, I started looking for a job less than a year before COVID and the lockdowns hit. So like throughout all of 2020, I wasn't looking really at all. 2021, I was, and I thought we may have been getting somewhere, as I posted some vlogs on the channel during 2021, taking you guys through that process of maybe getting somewhere. Of course, in the end, I didn't get anywhere. "2022 was a year, just wasn't a year for any of that. I just don't remember really truly looking that much at all. Last year, I looked a lot more, and it was the same outcome nearly every time. There's no response. Like, it's not like they're just simply, they respond and tell you that your application has been unsuccessful. No, they can't even be bothered to do that. They can't even be bothered to tell you that you've been unsuccessful. But since they're not going to respond, you put two and two together and obviously see that you haven't been successful. But is it really so difficult to just tell someone they've not been successful? Is that really that difficult of a task to do? And of course, that was gonna worsen your motivation for wanting to continue, because no one is even willing to give you a response. I mean, I've already applied for 3 different jobs this year alone. 3 different jobs I've applied for this year already, and it's been over a week. Well, it's been a week and over a week since I applied, and I have not had a response from any of them. I might get a response from one of them between when I'm recording this and when it goes up, but that's very wishful thinking. because no one seems to want to respond. Either from an email or you've given them your CV or whatever. They see it, they read through it, and it says, and they don't see they see that there's no experience, and they instantly lose interest and probably don't even bother reading it the rest of the way through, because they're not going to pick you. But yeah, you need to keep motivated, to keep going out there, keep applying and keep trying. Even though I've tried many times over the past number of years and gotten almost nowhere with any of them. Like I talked about in my year in review video a month ago about how I finally, after 4 years without an interview, I finally got an interview for a job I finally got another job interview. Wasn't successful, but they had the decency to tell me at the very beginning of the following week. They had the decency to tell me that I had not been successful. Which tells you that yes, they can do it. They just choose not to. Most of the time. And it's all about trying not to lose faith and lose hope that one day, maybe just one day, you'll apply for something and the person that reads it is willing to take a chance on you and give you that experience that everywhere else says you already need to have, but they refuse to give it to anyone. And that is going to conclude today's episode of Real Talk about motivation. If you guys have enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and tell me in the comments, have you guys struggled with motivation for certain things and not struggled with it for others? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments. But until next time, farewell.